Most of us interact in a fast-paced, noisy world. We've learned to adapt to the bombardment of clatter around us and automatically filter out unwanted sounds. The sounds we hear are simply a part of our life that enables conversation, much like the sights we see or the air we breathe. But for some, these sounds can become a source of isolation, causing frustration and humiliation. Sound should not be an intrusion that interferes with either our ability to communicate or succeed in life. Depending on each person's specific listening needs, hearing aids are effective, but other technologies may be necessary for total success.
My hearing loss has been with me my entire life. When I was at the audiologist's office and they put my very first set of hearing aids in, which were all in the ear, I heard something that was like little chickens cackling in the background. And I asked the doctor what that was, and he said, "That's your children laughing." I heard my children's laughter for the first time. And I cannot tell you how incredibly amazing. Then I realized what I was missing in life.
Well, I was actually a tank commander in the Marine Corps in World War II, and I don't know if you were ever inside of a tank, but especially back then, we had no earmuffs or anything. And when you'd shoot off those guns inside of a turret of a tank, the decibel count had to be, unbelievable.
I lost my hearing very suddenly at age 27. So I was a hearing person up until that time, and they don't honestly know why I lost my hearing, but one of my doctors gave me a little bit more time, and I got enough of my discrimination back that I was able to start wearing hearing aids. But I do have a severe to profound hearing loss.
I've worn one hearing aid for so long I can't remember when, my late 30s or early 40s, and I'm 63 now. I clearly had the high-frequency hearing loss in high school. I didn't hear the bell ring at the end of class. I just got up when everybody gathered their books up.
I've been wearing hearing aids since I was 25 years old, so that's about 17 years. Started off with analog hearing aids for probably the first 15 or so years. Got digital hearing aids about 5 years ago. And shortly thereafter, about 5 years ago, got my first FM system, which I needed to use for work.
I have a severe hearing loss in my left ear and a profound hearing loss in my right ear. And I was born that way as far as the doctors know. I never used an FM system until I was in the 8th grade.
I feel like I've lost a lot of hearing during the past 7 or 8 years. And each year it became more prevalent. And I've tried a number of different hearing aids or systems, and more recently in the last 2 years I've used the Phonax SmartLink FM, and it has augmented my hearing in a number of ways. And I guess the most significant way would be the way that I use it every day, and that would be with either my landline, which is the telephone that I use at the office or at home.
Hello?
Secondly, the cell phone. In both cases, the sound goes directly into my hearing aid. But if I didn't have this type of technology available to me, I really wouldn't be able to function in the business world.
Sometimes there are situations where I haven't anticipated that the FM system would be helpful. And an example of that are conference calls. Hello? I may be very close to a speaker, but because the sound gets distorted, I've learned that putting my FM system microphone right next to the speaker makes a difference.
It really has made a big difference in terms of staff meetings, and it has, again, for me, made the most difference professionally in that I'm able to do groups that otherwise I would simply not be able to do.
I'm a consultant. I'm working in a professional environment, and I need to be, at the top of my game all the time. I could not work without my FM technology. I could not be in meetings without my FM technology.
And I can carry it with me anywhere. I can use it in my classroom. Like when I was in high school, all my teachers would wear it, and now I've gone off to college at the University of Georgia, and all my professors wear it in the classroom. Without the FM, I would not be where I am today.
A couple of years ago, I went through an executive MBA program, and I asked that all my professors wear it around their neck, basically, and they did, every single one of them, every single class. And I could not have gotten through the program without it.
I wouldn't even go to a restaurant without it. It would be senseless because if I'm with a companion, because I wouldn't be able to talk to him, and what's the fun in that? It's brought me into the real world instead of the lonely world that so many hard of hearing people live in.
When I first got this system, my quality of life definitely improved because, I just heard so many more things. Where I was missing out a lot of in phone conversation, I just pass over and maybe try and figure out what they said. The Bluetooth FM technology has eliminated that problem entirely.
When I go to church, I can take the FM adapter and I can take it and push and plug it into the public address system. I probably wouldn't go to church if I didn't have it because I would be very bored and would not be able to participate and benefit from it.
Using the FM system has allowed me to understand movies better. I also use it at home watching the TV. Makes the volume level a lot more tolerable for everybody, and in combination with the captions and the sound, I feel I'm getting a much more fuller experience from the TV.
And I've even taken it to football games before. I know that sounds crazy, but as long as I make sure it's okay, I just hold it. And like before the game and everyone's sitting and waiting for it to start, I can talk to people, and that will help out a lot. And you can put this into a CD player, an MP3 player. You can put it into your laptop computer. You can put it into like any kind of sound system, and it will make the TV, the computer, or the music that's playing sound so much better.
And I recently have gotten a new cell phone, and although I don't totally know how to use it at every moment, when it works, the first time sitting in the store, when she connected up the FM system, tears came to my eyes because I could hear over a cell phone for the first time in my life.
Oh, I love it. I use it in the car. Oh, road noise is terrible. And my husband wears it, and I hear him just like he's inside my ear. I love it. I wouldn't get in the car with him without it.
I would tell anyone who is married or has a companion that this really brings the couples closer together by having the receiver and being able to communicate.
I think it's important for a patient to be informed of new technology because they really, or at least in my case, I have no way of keeping up with the latest assistive listening device technologies.
Well, a patient is depending on an audiologist to know what the latest things are or what the most applicable things are. I know I am.
I think as long as you're serious about wanting to live in the hearing world and not the deaf world, it's essential that you go to the best audiologist possible who is the most informed about all the latest technologies that will help them be happier in their everyday lives and be more likely to succeed.
And it blows me away that professionals in this environment don't know what's available or don't promote this to their patients, because to me it becomes a huge quality of life issue.
Well, obviously, it's important for audiologists to inform us because they're the ones that are in the front row. You're in the trenches. You know what's coming out. And typical of a lot of hearing impaired people become recluse. And they don't seek out. They just think, woe is me, and become very reclusive.
So what I would say to people who have a hearing impairment and have not tried an FM system is to consider that. It's likely that they may not be aware of how it can make their life easier.
I think you really owe it to yourself, if you've got a hearing loss, to consider using FM technology. It's not cheap. But for me, again, in a work environment, it has been critically important. To me, it's priceless. I mean, I can't even think about working without it right now. So it's really made a difference in quality of my life, my professional life, and my home life.
I say, what's new? That's the first thing, and she will tell me the new things out, and if I'm interested, she'll get me a loaner quickly, and I'll try them out, because it does take training to use all this new technology. But if you truly want to be a hearing person, it's worth its weight in gold. It opens up a magnificent world for you that you never thought you would have.
And I just get excited about encouraging people to go find out, because there's going to be something for them that's either this or some equivalent.
Because everybody should have that opportunity to be on an equal footing with the normal hearing world. So whenever new technology comes out, there shouldn't be a doubt that we should take advantage of it and use it.
There is no way that I would go back to getting rid of this and going back to my old way of hearing. I mean, that would be a giant step backwards.
I think the very first assistive listening device I got was the microphone, the MicroLink. And then I became hooked. Because once I started realizing the benefit, I didn't want to be without it.
But it's incredibly important to me that it's given me the confidence that I could keep going with what I do, or that I could do some things that I haven't been able to do in the past. I have to have it. I'm glad I've got it. I can't imagine not having it now.
It's made my life much easier, it's made my life more stress-free, and I'm happier with it because I can actually, participate in everything. It helps me both academically and socially.
It's been a big improvement to my life and to my outlook. And one doctor told me, be careful, don't get down on yourself because of your hearing loss. And I think the fact that this technology I have really keeps me from getting where I feel sorry for myself. It's a challenge. And so I feel very fortunate, not the other way.
I am losing my hearing gradually, and the older I get, it's accelerating a great deal. If I don't stay up with technology, my hearing aids and other equipment that attach to them will become useless. And so the minute new technology comes out, I get extremely excited, very excited. I run down to my audiologist first thing and say, tell me all about it. Tell me what's new, what's this, what's that. The only thing that keeps me back from anything is the cost. But I always manage to handle that because it makes me a human being.